Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro, friends. Today, before we get started, I want to invite you or remind you that we are looking to document your stories in this historic time that is the coronavirus pandemic. So if you are interested in coming and telling your story on the Daily Coffee Pro and telling us what this experience has been like for you so far, please don't hesitate to connect with us. Send us an email, support@mapitforward.org, or hit us up on social media @imapitforward, and we will find a way to get you on the podcast. Today on the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, we are talking about the word equanimity and the importance of what that represents right now. Equanimity is a word or a thing, I guess, that saved my life a number of times, particularly in times of crisis when I didn't know what my capacity was for being able to deal with incredibly hard stuff. And so what does equanimity mean? Equanimity is the idea of calm and balance during times of unrest. So the important concept behind equanimity is to understand that there are always going to be things that happen in your life that create upheaval. And so it happens every moment. Things show up in your life, they happen, and then you can either affect the way that you experience them or that they affect you, or you can allow them to move on. And I wanted to talk to you today about equanimity because this is a time that is presented to all of us to experience hard stuff. And anyone who's a regular listener of this podcast knows I'm a big fan of us doing hard stuff as often as we can because it gives us the opportunity to grow muscles in our hearts and in our minds in ways that we didn't even know that we needed to grow them. And so equanimity gives us the opportunity for stillness in a time of experiencing new hardships. And the current situation is exactly that. Many people are finding themselves out of a job. Many people are finding themselves with their business that they've worked tirelessly to build has just gone. And so with the uncertainty ahead of us, that presents us with a lot of emotions that we've never experienced before, a lot of thoughts that we've never experienced before, and a lot of situations that we've never had to confront before. And how do we deal with that? How do we confront that? Equanimity is the best solution in that situation. And it really is the idea of observation. It starts with the idea of observation. So an example of that would be, I find out that I've lost my job, and initially a whole bunch of things get triggered inside me. I have panic, I have fear, I have whatever that experience is for you. You start thinking about, well, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to feed myself? I've got people who depend on me. I've got student loans. I've got a mortgage. I've got all of this stuff, whatever your version of that is. So the situation happens and you trigger into a whole bunch of reactions, right? The idea of equanimity and starting on the journey of equanimity is observing those reactions in you. It's the idea of knowing what your current baseline is in starting your journey towards equanimity and getting an understanding for the way that you react to the things that show up in your life. When someone gives you good news, when someone gives you bad news, when someone treats you unwell, when someone pushes you or you feel pushed. That's the best way to put that. How do you react? Now, it's unreasonable to expect that you're going to get directly to the position of unreacting immediately, because the goal is that all you ever do is observe without reacting. Initially, though, you will observe the way you react, and that reaction, as you stop engaging with it, will start to diminish, and you will just get to a point, and it's always in flux. It's the great Vipassana meditators that will tell you that you will never achieve true equanimity until you are enlightened. And the goal is that as you stop reacting to these things that keep showing up, as you stop influencing the way that they manifest themselves, the quicker the journey that they find to resolution. An example, continuing our thing of I got fired. Okay, so I got fired and I immediately go into panic. I immediately try to fix the situation. I immediately try to blame somebody. I get angry. I start worrying. Okay. In true equanimity, the idea would be I got fired and I accept that. You accept the situation as it is, and you're excited about the new opportunity that's going to show up next. But even true equanimity would be that you're not even excited, because that influences the situation as well. In the journey onto equanimity, in the beginning, you'll have those experiences, and the challenge is, how do I not engage with the fear? How do I not engage with the idea that I am terrified of what's coming? I have no idea how to fix this. Don't engage with that. Just observe that right now I'm experiencing fear, and that's where it stops. You're not going to try and fix it. You're not going to try and solve it. Just for the moment. There will come a time when you try and fix it. But this moment that you're experiencing it isn't the time to try and fix it. The moment you're experiencing it, as you start your journey towards equanimity, is just to observe it. So observe all of these small emotions and big emotions that you're having, and allow them to come and allow them to go. Allowing them to come and allowing them to go is steeped in this idea, this too shall pass. By not engaging in it, you're allowing it to pass as quickly as it can. The alternative to that is if you do engage it. So if we engage it, how that scenario goes is, oh fuck, I just got fired. I don't know how I'm going to pay my mortgage. I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. What happens if I'm not able to eat? What happens? Oh my God, I've got to go and find myself a job. Now what you're doing is working yourself into a panic. That additional panic that you are piling onto the initial panic of the trauma or the shock or whatever it is that you've experienced is growing the situation beyond what the initial situation was. And therefore you're influencing that into something different than the way it initially presented itself. So you are manifesting it into something more than it was in the beginning stages of it. Now, if you can find a way to just let it be what it was when it showed up and not influence it, you will start to grow heart muscles and mind muscles that you never knew existed. If I was to draw it to an analogy of, let's say, you were healing a disease, equanimity and just observing would be a way of reducing inflammation in your body so that your body could get back to just dealing with the problem that's happening. So inflammation comes from an immune response. Your body gets sick, your immune system kicks in, and as your immune system kicks in, all of those white blood cells and red blood cells are going to the area that is affected to try and fight infection. So it inflames. Once you can calm that immune response down and just let your body take care of what's going on, it starts to flow back to normal. Equanimity allows you to bring down the inflammation of your mind and of your heart, and it allows you to deal with situations as they are presented without any of the extra added stress that you're deliberately piling on top. So it would be like having the inflammation and then adding another injury on top of that. This is incredibly important when you own a business. When you own a business and can practice equanimity, all of the millions of problems that are being thrown at you all of the time become a natural part of flow. They become a natural way that you see things just evolving and finding a way to not react to things. And man, I wish I was so much better at this than I am or than I should be for my 12 years or 13 years of practicing equanimity. But being well-versed in the art of equanimity is that thing that keeps you even-keeled, observing yourself, keeping yourself in check, and then realizing, actually, I've got the muscles to deal with this. So I'm going to go straight to problem solving rather than to reacting. So I thought it was really important to talk about equanimity today because I know that there are a lot of people that are reacting to the situation that they're finding themselves in. If that is you, I hope that you will go online and take a look at a bunch of resources that are out there about equanimity. All the people that you look up to and actually have the character that they're not just pretending to have great character. All the people that are the great leaders have an equanimity practice. So get started on yours today. There's a lot of resources out there. If you want to, this is a good time to start thinking about practicing Vipassana meditation. Vipassana meditation doesn't have any kind of religious or spiritual connection at all. It's quite scientific and it's all about silent meditation. It's not guided at all. It doesn't have any mantras. It is purely about the observation of oneself. And there's lots of resources out there to do that. Join us for our daily Instagram live and we will have a chat a bit more today about things like equanimity. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Stay safe, stay healthy. Have an amazing rest of your day.